Hello everyone. In previous lecture we have talked about the basic block diagram of computer. We have talked about the major components of computer system, about input device, output device, memory or storage device, or say CPU. Then after we have talked about hardwares and softwares. We have seen the difference between both of them. Now, in this lecture, as you can see the title over here, we are going to study about the types of software. We are going to go further with softwares. In previous lecture, I have already told you that what is the software. The software is a sequence of instruction which is used to automate the task. Now, this task can be demanded by user or it can be demanded by the system itself. And based on this concept, software is divided into two types. First is system software, second is application software. Now you must be wondering what is system software. As you can see the definition over here, system software, as the name suggests, are the software which is dedicatedly used to manage the system itself. The best example of system software is operating system. Because operating system is basically used to manage everything inside the system, to manage the scheduling, to manage the files, to manage the input-output devices, to manage the process. This all are managed by operating system, and operating system is made for this purpose only. We all are aware about different kind of operating systems. Say, if you are using smartphone, you must be using Android or iOS. If you are using desktop, you must be using, say, a Windows operating system or say Linux, Ubuntu, all that. These are the kind of operating system, different operating system. There exists some utility softwares which is used to manage the system, or the disk operating system, which is also a kind of system software. There are some other examples as well. Say, compiler, interpreter are also part of system software. They are kind of softwares. But what is the purpose of compilers, interpreters, etc.? That I am going to go explain in next video, when I am going to explain the entire program and will show you that how the compiler is working. Right now you just understand that compiler, interpreter, etc. are kind of system softwares. Then after, what is the application software? As you can see the definition over here, application software is a kind of productivity software or say end user softwares, which is demanded by user, which is made to complete the task demanded by user. Say I want to communicate with people, I want to interact with people remotely, and that's when WhatsApp came to the picture, and so as the other applications as well. So application software or application or apps are kind of application softwares. If you are say in your computer system you are using PowerPoint to make presentation, you are using Excel to make spreadsheets. These are all part of application software, and in our day-to-day life we are using so many kind of application softwares, and you all are well aware about that. So this is all about system software and application software, and what is the difference between them and what are the examples for that. Now after the types of software, I'm going to cover the topic called type of computer languages. By means of computer languages, I don't want to convey that we are going to study about C, C++, Java, Python, etc. These are type of programming languages, not the computer languages. Now, based on which concept computer languages are categorized or divided? If I give you just a random example, then suppose I want to communicate with you. You know the language, say Gujarati, and I know the language, say Hindi only. If you both want to communicate, either I have to learn Gujarati to talk with you, or either you have to learn Hindi to talk with me, or either we should use the language which is common to both of us, that is, say, English. What is the third option? The third option is I can use a translator. The translator who will translate your Gujarati for me and my Hindi for you, and will convey the messages in between both of us. Because the translator is well aware about both of these languages. This is the same concept when we are going to talk with computers. When the user is going to talk with computers or say hardwares. The machines understand the language of binary only, the language of zeros and ones. And based on this, we have basically three types of computer languages. First is machine level language, second is assembly level language, and third is higher level language. First of all, I would like to talk about machine level language. As I have already told you, machine level language is the language of zeros and ones, which is understandable by machines only. Now, suppose you can see the code over here that if you want to represent 6 in machine, you have to write 0, 1, 0, 1. Right? To represent 6 in binary, which the machine can understand. Now, if I am telling you to write a program, the entire program using this machine level language, how difficult it would be? What will be the complexity of the program? Can you write that program in machine level language? No, you cannot write that. So, machine level language is very easy to understand by machines, but it is very difficult to understand by users. So, this is the advantage for machines, but it will be disadvantage for users. As it can be easily understood by machines, you don't need to convert the machine code into some other code. So, it is conversation free. And as I don't waste my time converting the code, this program will execute faster. Right? So, it is conversation free and fast in execution. But it is not easy to understand. By writing not easy to understand, and what I mean is, it is not easy to understand by user. Right? Now, what about the assembly level language? As you can see the writer. Assembly level language is the language of opcodes and mnemonics. Now, what is opcode and what is the mnemonics, and how you can write an entire code in assembly level language, that you are going to study in system programming as well as in computer organization and architecture subject in your higher semester. I have just written small code over here to just demonstrate what exactly the assembly level language is. As you can see the code over here, I'm writing the first line by starting with move. Move some number to R1 and move some number to R2, and then I'm just adding R1 content inside R1 and R2. Now R1 and R2 is called registers, and what is the registers and how it is used and where it is placed inside the computer system. It is hardware, kind of hardware. So where it is placed and all that things we are going to study in some other subjects. But right now just consider this is the code of assembly level language. This kind of code is called assembly level language. This code is to add two numbers. So this code is easy to understand with comparison of machine level language. If I am writing assembly level code, then I have more power over hardware than higher level language. So basically assembly level language is in between machine level language and higher level language. So some advantages of higher level language is disadvantage in machine level language, or some disadvantage in machine level language is advantages in assembly level language. So it is in between both of them, right? I hope you understand the concepts. So this language is faster than higher level language but slower than machine level language. This language is easy to understand in comparison with machine level language, but it is difficult to understand in comparison with higher level language. Now what do I mean by higher level language? As you can see the title, higher level languages. You are going to study C, C++, Java, Python. These all programming language are called higher level language because this language is similar to English language. User can easily understand the code and write the code in this language. So it is easy to understand by user. It is not machine dependent. It is machine independent code, regardless of any machines. But the problem is machine cannot understand higher level language. So we have to convert higher level code into machine level code when I am going to execute a program. So the conversion can take some time. So it is slower in comparison with both of the previous languages. But it is very easy to understand by user. Difficult to understand by machine. So this is all about the three types of languages: machine level language, or say binary language, assembly language, and higher level languages. In exam, they may ask you about the theoretical questions about this type of languages, and in that you have to first write the introduction of each type of language, and then after you have to mention the advantages and disadvantages of these languages. I hope you enjoyed this class and you understand the concepts. If you have any doubt, you can just comment below the comment section. I'll reply you there and I'll make sure that I clear your doubt. I hope you enjoy. Have a good day. Thank you so much.